Okay, I think we're recording now. Okay, well, hi everyone. My name is Trudy Askew, and I'm really glad to be here with you today. I just love teaching essential oil classes, just sharing the different benefits of the oils and how you can use them and use them in your family. Along with spending time with my husband and family at the lake, teaching classes is another one of my passions. I just love seeing families being able to be empowered to take over and improve their health. So I've been using essential oils for over 2 decades now, and I started with another company, but I didn't see consistent results until I really switched to doTERRA, which was about 7 years ago. And that's when I also started sharing and teaching about how to use these oils that I've been getting so many results from. I've had some pretty amazing experiences. It's changed my life both physically and financially, and so I am just excited to share these with you. So my intention today is for you to see how powerful the essential oils are, and when you leave this class, I want to start you on a new journey that will change your family's lives forever. I'll know I've done my job if you leave this class knowing 3 cool things about oils, 3 ways to use the oils, and how to get these oils in your home. Now, if you can go home to your husband and tell him 3 cool things about the oils, then I've done my job. Now, real quickly, I just want to share a couple of oil experiences. I have so many to think about, but I think I'll share the one that I used most recently, which was just last night. So I've always had trouble getting to sleep, and for me, my brain is always working overtime. It's always creating tasks and lists for me, and I'm sitting there going, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, and I've got to do this. And so I just need something to help me shut down. Then I started using balance oil, and this was probably about 5 years ago. And this is something that has helped me shut down my brain and just relax. And it also keeps me from being a crazed and overwhelmed mom when I'm dealing with my kids during the day. So my kid, the most recent example I can think of is my kid can be screaming at me, and I'm sure all of you have had a kid that's been screaming in your face, and you're to respond calmly. Well, I was not one of those moms that responded calmly. On balance, however, I do respond calmly, and I tell them that they need to go in the other room until they calm down, and then I could discuss it with them. So I am a completely different person on balance and off of the balance. But back to my story at night, I also use the Serenity oil to help relax and calm my body down. That's a blend that doTERRA has put together that has lavender and some other sleep oils in it. And so I usually used to take 30 minutes to get to sleep, and so now it's somewhere around 5 minutes. My son also uses this if he wakes up in the middle of the night and he can't get back to sleep. I just have a roller bottle right next to his bed. Now I could tell you so many more experiences, but I'm going to let you think about all the different ways that you can use the oils as I go guide you through this class. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first cool thing about doTERRA is that the essential oils are 100% natural and safe. There's nothing added to the oils, and there's no side effects. They're just simply pure essential oils, and they have no addictions. They're safe for babies and for children, adults, and the elderly. The oils are extracts from plants, both the seeds, the leaves, the rinds, and even the resin that's under the bark, for example, in frankincense. All this is either cold pressed for like the citrus fruits or distilled to make the oil. These can have amazing health benefits, both physically and emotionally. And I think that that Mandi has already shared that some of the oils have been helpful for her children emotionally. So a pure essential oil is about 50 to 70 times more powerful than its herbal counterpart. So for example, 1 drop of peppermint essential oil is equivalent to drinking 28 cups of peppermint tea. So if you're pregnant and having difficulty with some morning sickness, I would rather have 1 drop of peppermint essential oil than drink the 28 cups of tea. So they're really, really potent. What I love about these oils is the CPTG standard. Now this stands for Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And it means these oils are completely pure and potent. Now pure means that there are no foreign contaminants or fillers. Potent means that each plant was grown in a particular region of the world where the plant grows best. So for example, an orange and a grapefruit is going to grow better in Sicily than it is probably here in Texas. And so you're going to get a better chemistry for that plant, which then causes the oil to do exactly what we want it to do for our health. So let's look at the oil that goes with safe, and that's peppermint. Peppermint is very energizing, which is going to be helpful for those that need a little bit of boost if you're exercising in the morning and you just want that boost to get you going or to keep you going on a run. It promotes clear breathing. I like to take a drop of peppermint and I'll put it into my hand, cup my hands together, rub them together, and just cup it in that way. And depending upon if you need it to go into your sinuses or if you need it to go into your lungs, you'll either breathe in through your mouth or through your nose. A lot of times people that are runners will like to breathe it into their lungs, just kind of open them up before they get ready to run. It's very cooling for the body as well. So like if you have trouble at night or during the day with in menopause where you're having hot flashes, you can simply take a cool rag and put a couple drops of peppermint on it and put it on the back of your neck. It also helps relieve head tension and migraines. And what I like to do with the peppermint is I'll take 1 drop and put it on my thumb and put it in the roof of my mouth at the moment that I feel like a headache is coming on. And that usually gets rid of it within 30 seconds. So the second cool thing about essential oils is that it's more effective than many modern approaches to health problems. First, so let me see if I can explain this from a basic biology 101. So let's think about our cells. So our cell is like my fist, like the ball that you see on the diagram. And if you look at it, there's one on the outside, there's something on the outside and something on the inside. Well, the membrane of the cell is oily. And so and that protects the cell. It keeps the good things in, it keeps the bad things out. Now, bacteria usually form on the outside of the cell and the viruses reside on the inside. So that's why when you go to the doctor and you are sick and you ask him for something for that, usually if it's bacterial, he'll give you something because it can attack the bacteria on the outside of the cell. And if it's a virus, they don't like to give you anything. They do have a couple drugs out there. We know from all the pandemic that they have some out there, but they're very, very costly and they don't like to give them out. So the oils, oops, wait. I just went to the wrong one. So when you think about this and you go into the doctor, That's why when I get sick and you think about essential oils can break that barrier of the cell membrane. So they can go inside the cell and they can attack the bacteria on the outside of the cell. So I usually know when I am getting sick, we all do, and I really don't care if it's bacterial or viral. I know I have an oil that is going to attack both the bacterial and the viral. And so I will immediately start taking those oils. Some of the ones that I like to take are On Guard, which is our immune blend, which I'll talk about in a second. And I like to combine it with frankincense, oregano, sometimes tea tree, and lemon. So I just, depending upon what my different symptoms are, I attack it right away, because the On Guard and the oregano are antibacterial and antiviral. So I don't care what it is. I just want it to get rid of it. So let's take a look at the oil On Guard. And this is our immune blend. And this is going to be something that's going to be great for building your immune system up, especially during this time. I take On Guard every single day in my green tea internally. I will diffuse it to kind of get rid of bacteria and viruses that are around on surfaces. And so that would be something that you could use in a fitness setting if you wanted to use as a disinfectant on your mats or your different weights or things like that. On Guard's also very good at soothing sore throats, cleansing for hands. We have it in even a hand sanitizer and a cleaning concentrate too. That's really helpful. So if we look at the third way, the third cool thing about essential oils, they're cheaper than traditional medical care. And so and let me explain real quick. Most people have to pay a copay when they visit the doctor. And so that might be an average of say $20. And then if your doctor gives you a prescription, you have to go get an antibiotic. And then when someone and so you have the cost for that too. And when someone in my family has an ear infection, we rub 2 drops of lavender and 2 drops of tea tree around the ear, never inside the ear, but around the ear bone and behind, and put them to bed. 12 hours later, the infection is cleared up. And that only costs 64 cents. So compare that with your copay, your prescription. You've got to, maybe take off work, all of that stuff, even the gas to the car. And the car is going to be cheaper. And then also, if you have an antibiotic, it might mess up your gut and you have to pay extra money to get a probiotic. And so you have to deal with that as well. So our family saves hundreds of dollars in medical costs because of essential oils. And you just simply can't afford not to use these natural solutions. And that's what they're for. And that's the nice thing about it. So we can take a look at lavender, and lavender is 9 cents per drop. It's very calming for the mind and for the skin. It's a great antihistamine, especially during these allergy times. I like to use lavender if I burn myself on the oven. I can put the lavender on the burn and it will take that sting away. I also like to use it this past weekend. I got a little too much sun on my shoulders. And so I just use a mixture of lavender and peppermint in some water, spray it on. It's very cooling and very calming for the skin. So now let's talk about 3 ways to use doTERRA essential oils. There's aromatic, topical, and internal. Now you notice the letters that are up here by the actual words. You've got an A, a T, and an I. Now those are important because every time you see an oil that is on the screen, you'll see whether it's got an A, T, or an I. Now all of our oils can be taken internal, but some of them don't really have a purpose, a medical purpose for using it internally. So that's the reason it's not listed. So the first way is aromatic. So if you were to take your fingers and pinch right above the bridge of your nose, right under your fingers is your olfactory nerve. And that olfactory nerve sends messages to the limbic system in your brain. This turns on the messages all over the body. So sometimes people think it's hokey to say oils could affect the body just by smelling them, but let me illustrate something for you. When you go to the hospital for surgery and need to be put under anesthesia, how do they deliver that? They don't give you a pill. They usually just give you a shot. They give you a shot. They ask you to breathe through a mask. They don't give you a shot. They ask you to breathe through a mask and count down to 10. And most of us never get past 10. So when you breathe those synthetic compounds through the mask, your olfactory system is powerful enough to send signals to your body to knock you out in under 10 seconds. It's the fastest way to access the brain. That's why they're so powerful for both emotion and for physical. Now, this happens exactly the same way with natural compounds found in the essential oils. When we breathe in the essential oils, they hit our olfactory nerve and it sends, signals to the limbic system, which in turn signals to the rest of our body. And this happens in as little as 30 seconds. So just smelling it can have that impact, that aromatic. So there are a few ways to use essential oils aromatically. They can be used for your mood, to cleanse the air, and to support the respiratory system. Just basically breathing them in from the bottle. So we can think about, one of my favorite oils to use for aromatic is Breathe. And Breathe is actually what it says, breathe. It helps open up your lungs and your sinuses, promotes clear breathing day and night. One of the really quick ways to open up my sinuses in the morning is simply to place a drop of the Breathe on my shower floor. And that heat, and it rises up, and it just, the whole shower smells like Breathe, and it just opens all of your sinuses up. And it's one of the fastest ways. I also like to use Breathe a second way, and that's topically. Say you have a child with a chest congestion. Simply apply the diluted Breathe to the chest area here, all around where the lungs are, on the front of the chest and the back, and then you put them in the shower. And I would put my young kids into the shower and just let the shower run and let them play like they had toys in there. And it's kind of like it's getting all of that steam in there. It's got the Breathe going, and then the water is actually intensifying the effect of the oils. So topically, we also, when we talk about topically, we talk about the localized benefits. So wherever you have something that's going on, you can apply it topically too. So one of our best oils is Deep Blue. And this is going to be to soothe your achy muscles and your joints from like working out. It can be used for migraines. I have a couple of customers that use it for the restless legs syndrome. It calms them down so that they can sleep at night. I also included a picture of the Deep Blue rub, which is also good for the sore muscles. It has a little bit more pain relievers in that, like wintergreen and stuff, in a combination with the Deep Blue rub. I like to tell people that the oil is more for deep bone issues and anything like the sporadic muscles. And the Deep Blue rub is a lot for the sore muscles that you would get from working out and stuff. So when you're thinking about topically, You can apply oils directly to the skin. For children and people with sensitive skin, you'll always want to dilute it with fractionated coconut oil. It's just as effective. It just takes longer to absorb into the skin. And also you would want to do it on like hotter oils too, like oregano. And you can even apply the oils to the bottoms of your feet, including babies, and it won't really bother them at all. The pores on the bottom of your feet are really big, and the oil absorbs very quickly into the bloodstream. And it's one of the fastest ways to get the oils into your system. So remember when I gave you my balance testimony at the beginning of the class? Well, I apply balance to the bottom of my big toes because that area corresponds to my brain, and I want it to be absorbed there quickly so that it shuts that brain kind of down and calms it. So I want to give you a safety tip here. If you ever get oils in a sensitive part of your body, just use a carrier oil like fractionated coconut oil and directly apply it to the affected area. It'll take the sting away rather quickly. You can also use, if you can't find fractionated coconut oil, which fractionated coconut oil is just the liquid form of coconut oil, go grab something in the kitchen, canola oil, olive oil. It's just going to take a little bit longer to dilute it and absorb into the skin, but it'll work just as well. And always remember that to dilute with oil, not water. Remember I said water intensifies the effect of the oil. So you want to use that when you need it. But if you need to dilute and not have a stinging effect on the skin, you want to use oil. All right, so let's talk about the third way to use doTERRA essential oils, and that is internally. These essential oils are not only safe to use internally, they are recommended for internal use. Remember I talked about the CPTG standard earlier. This means that the oils are of medicinal grade and are completely safe to ingest. Now, do not do this with other brands. For example, if you look at the back of a grocery store brand of essential oils, it says for aromatic use only. They only want you to smell it. They do not want you to ingest them or apply them topically. That might be your first clue that they're not a pure essential oil, especially at their cost. So with doTERRA oils, you can put them in your mouth or drink them in water. If you don't like the taste, then just simply put them in a veggie capsule. It's like concocting your own little natural remedy. So one of my favorite oils to ingest is Digestive. And that's for anything digestive related. So that could be anything from constipation to throwing up to diarrhea. Now that sounds really counterintuitive. One product that's going to handle constipation and diarrhea. And the reason is because it's not curing you of what you have, it is restoring the balance to your system. So it doesn't need to know which one you have, it just needs to restore the balance to what you have. And that's what you want from a product. You don't want it to just mask the symptom that you have. You want it to get it back into a state of balance. So you can use this if people have a lot of digestive issues. They can use this at meal times that will help them digest their food as well. Okay, so let's quickly go through some of our other most popular oils. We have lemon, and that's going to be for all uses of aromatic, topical, and internal. It's a great cleanser for the body and for the home. It is great at alkalining your body. And you fitness gurus know that that is one of the problems with a lot of inflammation is too much acidity within your body. So lemon's a great thing to add to your water to drink throughout the day. But remember, this is not the same thing as drinking a lemon slice in your water. This is 50 to 70 times more powerful than the lemon that you're going to squeeze into your into your water. So I tell people, I'm like, I love my coffee too, but in the morning, but before I have my coffee in the morning and I wake up, I will have a glass of lukewarm water with 3 lemon drops. Sets the tone for the day, makes you alkaline, then I could go enjoy a cup of coffee. So that's just a great start for the day. Tip, it also works great to get sticky stuff off of anything that you have. Chewing gum, one of your kids put a sticker on your wood floors, those kind of things. It's going to come right up. Frankincense. Frankincense is the king of oils. It promotes calm feelings. It's very anti-aging, and it just helps your cells perform to their best. Frankincense is an enhancer oil. So anything that you put it with, it's going to enhance the effect by a factor of 5. That's the reason when I get sick, I start with On Guard, oregano, and frankincense, because I want it to enhance the effect of that. Wild orange. I really wish this was a live class so you could smell the wild orange right now, because it's simply amazing. Not only does it smell really good, but wild orange has natural compounds in it that help with stress and depression. It's very uplifting to the mood, and it is a really strong antioxidant. Adaptive. This is our newest oil last year. Adaptive is a calming blend that helps people with anxiety, increasing their focus, and giving them a more cheerful outlook if they're in kind of more of a depressed state. And so we have this also in a capsule that you can take and a roller bottle. And we've had great results from this. Now, copaiba, this is a really interesting oil. This is our oil that's comparable to CBD oil. Because it has the same chemical and molecular structure as the CBD oil, it's a cannabinoid. But it's a cannabinoid that has the same qualities and medicinal qualities without the high or the illegal drug. And it's stronger in its percentages and efficacy as well. This is also available in a soft gel. It kind of soothes the body, settles the body down, and calms the entire nervous system. And interesting story, yesterday I had a policeman and his wife come over, and we were checking him out for something else. He had just gotten back from the doctor, and he had a heart rate of 130. And they couldn't get it to calm down. So they said, well, okay, we want you to come back tomorrow. So I said, well, let me do a scan on you and see what's going on. And we decided to give him 2 copaiba capsules. By the time he drove home, which for them was about 45 minutes, his heart rate had dropped down to 70. It was crazy. So I told him, I was like, okay, don't take it just before you have your test, so we can make sure that, they can find something if they need to. But that was crazy that it had done that. And when I was talking to him, I think what was happening with him, so much is going on with a first responder. They're in such that fight or flight mode all the time. And every time the beeper goes off, they're like this. They're like, I'll be back. They're like, they're intense. Their intensity goes up. So this was very calming for him. Citrus Bliss is my favorite oil. I diffuse this in my office with peppermint to stay focused and energized throughout the whole day, and just love it. Okay, so this is the best part of the class, and so I just like to hear oil experiences from other people and what is their favorite oil that they had. experience that they had. But there's only 2 rules. You have to keep it under 30 seconds, and it can't be the same health concern as someone else.
And I like what Balance has done for Nayeli. I think out of all of the blends that you have done for her, that's probably been like one of the most beneficial.
Right. Yeah, I can see that in her.
Also, the one that you just said about the police officer, I think Mom needs to try for my dad because he's a police chief
Really?
under an abundance of stress. So, yeah, I think it would be really good for him.
Oh, that'd be great.
What was that one?
It was Copaiba.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I've
they
been
have
trying to take notes here as you've been giving things.
And they have soft gels, so that makes it easy for him. He won't have to taste the oil. He could just take it in a soft gel.
Yeah, you know, I already told you about the oregano oil and that I use that. And I don't even take time to, you know, mix it with anything. I just put a drop on and rub it in because I know the soles of my feet are tough enough skin.
Right.
But we actually have friends who, if they are getting sick, they'll put a drop of it in water and drink it. I have never been brave enough to try that because it's so powerful.
Well, funny story, when my husband had a sinus infection and I gave him the oils and I didn't have a capsule, I gave him the On Guard, oregano, and frankincense in some water, and it was horrible tasting, but he felt so bad he took it anyway. And literally 10 minutes after he took it, he was yelling across the house, "Trudy, what did you give me?" And I said, "Well, it depends. How do you feel?" And then he's like, "Well, I actually think I feel better." And I was like, "Okay, well, let me tell you what I did." So, well, interesting. Well, thank you for sharing.
You know, I want to share with you, Trudy, there's one thing that I've read about frankincense, and I don't stay in a habit of doing it, but I have a growth, I don't know if it's arthritis or what, but on the knuckle of my pointer finger, right on the first knuckle, or first joint. And I had read somewhere that putting a drop of frankincense on there and using that would help. I just am not consistent with it. Have you ever heard anything like that?
Well, okay, so another one of my experiences, my mother-in-law, she was like the poster child for the dermatologist. And she had a growth that was about this big, and it was raised up about this much, and it was right here on her wrist. And I made her a mixture of frankincense, myrrh, and sandalwood. And I put it in a roller bottle, and all she did was just rub it on, and she loved the smell because it was so relaxing to her. That's why she would keep putting it on. Well, one day we were in there at the assisted living, and it just fell off.
Oh my.
And we were flabbergasted. I'm telling you, if it was just me in the room, nobody would have believed me. But it was the home health nurse that was watching it. She goes, "Well, I don't know what to do with it." And I go, "Oh, and I just flicked it off. No bleeding, no nothing. It just came off. And the doctor had already told us that he thought it was cancerous. It was just gone. It was crazy. I was like, wow. Okay, so if you really, really are serious about your health and you really want to start feeling good and get on your A game, have more energy, to start feeling better, more balanced, then this is our lifelong vitality, and it's our supplements. For an essential oil company, this is our #1 product. It has a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. It has 3 components. It has a whole food complex, which is geared towards Western diets, not to the recommended daily allowance. Because if you take the recommended daily allowance and you take any vitamins that are out on the market today, you end up with an overabundance of some of these vitamins that you do not need. And it's not good for your system to be overtaxed that way. So that's why these are so good, that they are geared more towards our Western diets. Has an antioxidant blend that just helps with your cellular energy, gives you a boost for focus and in the energy in the afternoon. And then my number one favorite, if I had to just pick one, is the omega complex. It's from land and marine sources. We have a vegan option for that as well. And it also includes 9 essential oils. And those 9 essential oils that are in the omega complex are there to help with inflammation within the body. And I've had people that have sworn to me, they come to me and they tell me that they're not feeling good, but they are taking the best omegas out there on the market. And I can name them all. And I say, okay, for 30 days, I want you to try our omega complex and our LLV. Every single one of them is still on the LLV because of that omega complex. So if a 30-day money back guarantee, I have literally not had one person ask for their money back. Also, last night, I could not believe I heard this testimonial last night. One of my customers had a 6-year-old that was just out of control at school. She's a nurse and she has to send her boy to school and is constantly getting calls, constantly. Nothing seems to be calming him. We got him on some oils with some results, but then we added in 1 capsule, because he could swallow a capsule, of each of the LLV. And within 2 weeks, he is now a changed boy. In fact, he's gotten notes from them saying how well he is doing. So that tells you the imbalance that he probably had in his whole system, and it just needed to be corrected. So I love those stories. That's why I do this. So there's 3 ways to purchase. The first way is retail, and nobody is going to need to buy retail. You only would buy retail at like your chiropractor's office, a spa, or another professional setting. It's the most expensive way to buy the oils. The second way is wholesale. This is kind of like you having a Costco card where you have an annual membership. It gives you the greatest access to the prices. And with doTERRA, having a wholesale membership allows you to buy at 25% below the retail price. The third way, and the only way that I buy my oils, is below wholesale. And this is the smartest way to buy your oils, and you'll learn a little bit more about that later as we move in to your doTERRA journey. So as you've listened kind of tonight about the power of essential oils and all the different things that they can do and benefits that you can get from them, I just want you to start thinking about the different things and the ways that they can change your life. Our goal at doTERRA is to support you on your essential oil journey, and it isn't just to give you 1 bottle of tea tree for acne or deep blue for pain. Our goal is basically to teach you how to live a natural lifestyle so that when things come up like pain and allergies and the cold or the flu, instead of reaching for medicine, you can reach for natural solutions. That, by the way, don't need 2 minutes to list all the side effects like they do on all the commercials today. There are none. There are no side effects with these. doTERRA puts together some kits that are cheaper if you bought your oils individually. So if you add up the cost of the oils, the kits will always be cheaper. All the kits include a free wholesale membership, and you'll have everything that you need at your fingertips. Now let me tell you a few things about some of the kits. And don't get overwhelmed here, because usually what I do is I set up a time that we can go over what you are trying to focus on. And it takes about 10 or 15 minutes, what you would like to focus on, and then we can get the kit that is going to be the most cost effective for you. So if you were going to replace everything in your entire medicine cabinet, you would just need this one kit. And this is the Natural Solutions Kit. It has the most important oils, a 10-hour diffuser, digestive enzymes, probiotics to help support your gut, immune oils in soaps and sanitizers, and even soft gels. And then finally, the supplement trio that I talked about earlier. And this one is going to save you $220 off of the wholesale cost. So it's by far the most effective way to get started if you want to go ahead and just replace your whole entire medicine cabinet. And I have a lot of people that like wish they would have started out this way because they had to build up to it. Now, both of these kits, I like to put these two kits together because they each have 10 oils and they each have a diffuser. It's just which oils you want and how big a diffuser and how large the bottles you want. So for example, oh, here we go. The top kit, the Healthy Essentials kits, those are pretty much for your mind, your body, and your spirit. So your adaptive, your copaiba, and your balance are going to be in that, and they're going to be in the larger bottles, and they're going to have 250 drops, and it has a larger output diffuser. The one on the bottom, the Healthy Start kit, has all the 10 top selling oils. So that's going to be your oregano, your frankincense, all of those that you would use for any kind of health issues. Smaller output diffuser, but in a smaller bottle. So can you see the difference? This one has 85 drops, and this one is the larger one's going to have 250 drops. So like I said, it's just kind of me talking to you and deciding, you know, which one's going to be the best one for you to kind of get started with if that's what you're interested in. And then this year they came out with some new kits, a Healthy Habits kit that has the vitamins in it, some essential oils, digestive enzymes, and the Deep Blue Rub in there as well. And that is a really good buy on that kit. Then we also have the Healthy Home kit. So if you are really concerned about building up your immune system and having a healthy alternative to sanitize things, this On Guard Healthy Home kit is going to be for you. Now, it's got the cleaner concentrate. It's going to have the hand sanitizer, the soaps for your bathrooms, your toothpaste. It's got the oils. It's got it all. So it's something that I use in my home. And I like to use the On Guard because it kills the bacteria and the viruses within the home from a diffusing standpoint. And then everybody who washes their hands, it gets on their hands, and you've got this protective coating on your hands so that anything you touch later on, then it's going to counteract that as well. The other one we have is a Simple Solutions kit. And they made this available so that if you had some specific oils, this would give you a start, and then you could add other specific oils that we have. And you can see behind me, there's a ton of different options that you can choose from depending upon what you need that address just about everything. So if you sign up with doTERRA, what you can expect from me is a welcome packet, a personal meeting just to kind of meet with you and try to decide what is going to be the best and most cost-effective package for you to get. I hate for people to buy something and then it to sit in their medicine cabinet. That is not my goal. My goal is to help people, is to educate them, and to keep them on this journey. We're going to give you access to education groups. We have continuing education. We have Facebook communities. We have ongoing support. And the greatest thing about this month is they just announced that this month, and they haven't done this ever for $1. If you choose your favorite kit and it's over $150, you'll receive 50 free doTERRA dollars next month. I think they're going to put it in everybody's account on August 4th. And so then you can use that to buy some additional oils. So that is a great, great offer. 50 doTERRA dollars. Usually an oil, say lemon is $13. I think the equivalent is 13 doTERRA dollars. So I think they're relatively close. I think there's only a couple of them that are only a couple off. So if you've seen this presentation and you're interested in setting up something, I'd love to get with you, get you your free gift. I'd like to give everybody a free bottle of wild orange so that you can smell it, like I talked about it in the class. And all I need for you is to text me your name, your best time to call, your address, and I'll send you the wild orange and your top 2 health concerns, and then we can set up the meeting and work with you. And then to close, kind of, just wanted to touch on if you want to host a class and earn a keychain.
Oh, that one, that one.
Oils in them.
You want all of
Then all you have to do is have a class for me online, and for each person that you get, then you get another sample to put in here. And I just got these really cute keychains. They're not even the colors. They're just like a kind of a plaid version, and they're just super adorable. And these hold 10 oils instead of just 8. So that's a really good thing. And you can't buy those from me. You need to hold a class, and then I'll fill it up for you. And then the last thing I have to close is about 5 minutes worth. There's 3 types of people. There's people that just, the person that's excited to live a natural solutions lifestyle, and they want to just share, they just want to learn about the products, and they're going to be using them and sharing them with their family. The second is sitting there and they're like, oh my gosh, my mom needs this, my friend needs that, and I can just see myself sharing oils with everyone that I know, because they all need these. Then you can earn enough to get your products paid for. It's not a major problem. I do all the work. You just share with your friends and get them started on their journey. And then the third person is the person that has been watching me this time, and gee, I really want to do that. And I would love to educate people. I'd love to help them, and at the same time earn a generous compensation plan to help me. And it's been a fantastic journey for me the last 7 years. Just physically, I hit rock bottom almost 10 years ago, and I feel fantastic now. Physically and financially, I got my oldest 2 children through college debt free with doTERRA. So that was a huge undertaking. So if you want to, we could talk about the joy of sharing oils later on. But I really appreciate this time, and we'll go ahead and close it here, but go ahead and text me with your information, and then I can set up a meeting with you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Rudy.
Yeah.